Skorzeny's career as the creator of Hitler's elite commando force, trained in foreign languages, sophisticated weapons and demolition devices, various forms of aircraft including experimental planes, and combat and assassination techniques, is celebrated all over the world. It was Skorzeny, after all, who performed the impossible rescue of Benito Mussolini from under the nose of his captors. It was Skorzeny who dressed members of his force in American uniforms in one of the last battles of the war, and thus contributed to many American deaths by means of the artful deception. That's from Unholy Alliance, A History of Nazi Involvement with the Occult by Peter Levenda. Another excellent book. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. I have some props here. Lest anyone be fooled, I want to tell you about the Republican plans for healthcare and energy in this country. I want to illustrate a point to you that this is not about right or left. This is not about Democrat or Republican, because when it comes to these issues, the only thing that you need to know about these two parties is that they are both destined to destroy you, your family, and take as much money from you as they can and transfer it into the hands of corporations and the financial industry. So let's see what the Republicans' common sense reforms will do for health care. First, they want to lower health care premiums. Their plan will lower premiums. Well, how are they going to do that? It doesn't say here how they're going to lower premiums, but they're going to. Establishing universal access programs to guarantee access to affordable care for those with pre-existing conditions. They're going to create a universal access program that expand and reform high-risk pools and reinsurance programs to guarantee that all Americans, regardless of pre-existing conditions or past illnesses, have access to affordable care. Well, what's affordable? Well, I guess if you're a millionaire, you can afford the plan that they're going to have for you being a high-risk person. But it's going to lower costs overall. Sure it will. And one of the key ways, according to them, that they're going to lower costs is by ending junk lawsuits. Junk lawsuits! The GOP plan would help end costly junk lawsuits and curb defensive medicine by enacting medical liability reforms modeled after the successful state laws of California and Texas. That means you're going to be limited in what you can get when a doctor destroys your stinking life. And that's going to help, according to them. Prevents insurers from unjustly canceling a policy. Unjustly canceling. Which means they can cancel, just not unjustly. And who decides what's just or unjust? Encouraging small business health plans. Oh, they're going to encourage that. That's nice. They're going to let them pool together. They're going to encourage innovative state programs. Well, isn't that great? They're going to provide incentive payments to states that reduce premiums and the number of uninsured. What kind of payments? How much is it going to be? Is it even going to be worthwhile? It's going to be a token amount. Who knows? Allowing Americans to buy insurance across state lines. Well, let's see. This might be a good thing. A lot of people have been talking about this as actually being a good thing, but the problem that I see with it is several. And that is, one, how good a fucking coverage can you get from a company that's 8 states away, okay? How can they compete with the local establishments in your area? Okay? That's number one. Number two, is your doctor even going to accept that fucking insurance? The one that's located way over there. And when you have a customer service problem, the one that's located way the fuck over there. Are they going to really work hard to make sure you're satisfied? I wonder. Promoting healthier lifestyles. The GOP plan promotes prevention and wellness by giving employers greater flexibility to financially reward employees who adopt healthier lifestyles, which means don't get sick. And if you don't get sick, the employer will actually pay you incentives. So in other words, they're going to pay you to not get sick. So I wonder, if you are sick and they're going to pay you to not be sick, will you not go to the doctor so you get a little extra bonus in your paycheck? I think a lot of people would do that. So it's avoidance of care. And unless that's just a token amount, which of course I'm sure it is, along with all these other so-called incentives and encouragements. They're going to enhance your health savings account. So they're going to create incentives for you to save more of your money so you can pay your own way, which is of course what they want all along. And they want to allow dependents to remain on their parents' policies up until they're 25. Well, I think that's a good idea. It's about the only thing that's all good as far as this goes. But it only encourages coverage of young adults on their parents' insurance. There's nothing in here that is anything but encouragement or incentives. It's all bullshit. The only reason I want to point this out to you on the GOP side of things is to illustrate to you that there's no fucking difference between these parties anymore. There is no such thing as left and right. Okay? You need to divorce this from your mind. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there is no alternative on the other side of the aisle that's even worth looking at. The only thing that's good about this fucking piece of shit is it has no fucking chance of fucking passing. That's the only thing that's good about it. And these are the so-called opposition. You'd think they'd come up with something a little bit better. The only thing that they throw out here that's even mildly decent, aside from the dependents remaining on their parents' policies as a encouragement, is the fact that they say they're not going to cut Medicare. Well, no, not for this healthcare thing, because it makes good political hay for them to do it now. Because they're going to stir up the seniors against the Democrats' plan, saying, we're not going to cut Medicare. Well, not with this plan, you're not going to cut Medicare. But if you got this plan enacted, you would fucking slice and dice the motherfucking Medicare. Because that's what you have planned all along. That's what you've been doing and you've been trying to do for fucking years. Makes me sick, isn't it? All litigation is frivolous. Well, someone, turns you into a vegetable on the operating table. Frivolous! Frivolous! How much money are you worth? Well, we gotta limit that to like $200,000 or something. You certainly can't be awarded millions of dollars for the simple mistake. It's frivolous. This is what you get from the other side. A bunch of fucking bullshit. But let me reiterate. Where my stance is against the Democrats, because they're the ones in power, you understand? They're the ones that are supposedly for the people. That's what they've told you all through these years, isn't it? The Democrats are for the people. They're for unions, for labor, and all that shit. What a bunch of fucking bullshit that is, huh? But since they're the ones in charge, that's where the greater part of my ire goes. And that's why I'm going to talk about them more. Okay? But there's no difference between these groups. But you can see what you get on the other side of the aisle is a bunch of fucking shit. So you don't even have a choice between the two anymore. They don't even try to make an attempt to be different. Different avenues to the same fucking end. Period. Thank you. Good night.